Hello everyone, my name is Shibam Dhar and I'm DevRel engineer at Harness. Today I'm going to talk about an advanced configuration provided in user action of AI test automation, and this is known as capture response data. Let's show you what it is. While writing an end-to-end test, you might want to capture some response which is done internally or the backside of where the network responses are there. The main purpose of is it to provide you help with the validation of the output, like if some output you got in the response and you want to see whether it is somehow relatable, or you can check on the UI whether it's present or not, you can do with it. Along with it, you can always use that response and save it and then pass it on to the next steps, and later on you can use that particular response via variable. And last but not the least, you can also use it for validation of some of the UI things, like maybe rule based validations. You got some kind of response, you saved it and you want to use it as a rule. To showcase that, I've actually made a sample in which I'm using that response data capture, and I'm going to show you how it is done. Let me show you the live edit of this particular test. Right now as you can see that my live test authoring is active for this dummyjson.com. Here I'm going to just fiddle with it and show you how the response I can save. Before moving on to that, let's see where to find it. So if I click on add step, and under user action we have first three user actions known as click, write, navigate. All these three will have that capture response data. Now let's say if I click on write and go to its advanced option, you can see that response data capture drop down is there. So if I click here, and I'll get to put four details. The first one is of course the URL pattern. So whatever you want to capture from the network, it will eventually come with the pattern or the regular expression. And later what you want to save should be mentioned into a variable. So you need to mention a variable name right under the parameter name, and then the response can be huge or it can be inside a hierarchical way. So to choose what exact path you want to save it, you can provide the response body path. It usually starts with the $sign and followed by the exact hierarchy. Right? Is it in the data or is it directly available? It depends on the different response you capture. And finally, you can select this particular JSON data into this particular area, and then I'm doing a generate now click. Where is it? Yeah. So this is the link. It got generated, and if I go to its edit section, you will see me that I have actually configured the response data capture that generate is the regular expression. And if you ask me how, there is dummyjson.com, and if I clicked on generate now, it is giving me a generate response. And this is actually that what I talked about, the URL or the expression, and this is the response I want to capture, but exactly the URL I want to capture. Okay, so I selected $sign URL and I want to save it into the variable name as generated URL. That's it. Cool. Let's do next. So the next step is actually me trying to fetch that response and save it so that we can later on see what kind of response we got. So to fetch the response, I'm doing a user action of API call. This is very useful if you want to do method types of get, post, put, and much others while you're end-to-end test building. And you can just simply select the method type, provide the URL you want to. You can also provide headers, body, parameters, and other stuff, but for this one I've just kept it simple, providing it with URL and providing it with the parameter name where I want to save it. Now that the step is as already run, I can still see in the parameters that generated URL has the new URL and the JSON data is fetched properly. Cool. Now let's add some AI into it. So now what I'll do, I've navigated to this online notepad, and in this sixth final step, I'm doing an AI step of multi-step in which I've given a task that write a summary using the JSON data you got into this particular online notepad. Let's see what happens. It took some time, but eventually it provided the summary based on the JSON data provided to the AI. I hope you understood how to and when to use the advanced option of capture response data. I will be back again with new tutorials, new guides for you guys to understand more about AI test automation. Thank you.